My mind yelled at me to run, but my body simply stood there in shock. Her scent of arousal filled my nostrils and made my face twitch. The scent made me stay, but so did that look she was giving me. As she approached me, she kept up to her hind legs and lathered my lips with a sloppy wet kiss. Okay, so I can't speak. Kiss, and finally my mind snapped back to reality. I quickly ducked and stepped sideways. She fell to all fours and gave me a look of curiosity. My heart rate had increased heavily, and my breath fared no better. Floor, listen, real close, I told her, but I knew it was no use, almost like she was in some sort of trance. She trotted slowly over to me, putting heavy sway into those beautiful curves of hers. Damn, she has dead. I thought to myself, then slapped myself across the face. What the hell was I saying? I stepped back, but tripped over my own footing. I scrambled to get to my feet, but she placed one of her forelegs against my chest and licked her lips seductively. I gulped, and as she tried to kiss me again, I rolled out from under her. I got to my feet and tried to think. God, no, not that. There we go. I got to my feet and tried to think straight. I started to have a raging... a raging boner, and my mind was conflicted. My conscience screamed, no, it's not right, but my primal side screamed, do it now. I tried to only focus on one thing, to get Floor calmed down, but that was obviously going to be very difficult. Floor, goddammit, Floor, listen to me. You've got to chill the fuck out. This isn't right. You're married, and I'm a human, I told her. But to say animal, but refraining from calling myself such. I know, but right now all I want to do is bend over, she said, then whipped around and bent over, giving her flank a little wiggle as she presented herself to me. And let you stuff your shaft inside my tight pussy. My head! She said as she whisked her tail away and gave me a full view. I hate myself for reading this. My throbbing manhood twitched. My primal side screamed for me to do it, but I kept my mind in check. No, I can't, I said angrily, trying to force away the sudden lust with anger. She wiggled her rear for me. Oh, come on. I know you want to, she giggled, almost like she had had me in a hypnosis spell. I slowly walked forward. My left hand reached forwards for her rear, but I squeezed my eyes shut, then grabbed her with my right hand and spun her around. I held her in front of me, breathing heavily. Floor, this isn't right, I managed through grunts of anger. It was so hard to keep myself in check. I had been here for 5 years, so I became accustomed to the beauty of ponies. Sometimes found it difficult not to look. Most of them didn't wear clothes anyway. Finally, she snapped out of it. Oh my god, this isn't me. This isn't what I'm like. She gasped and looked up to me with apologetic eyes. I stepped back from her and let her down to all fours. Floor, are you back to normal? I asked, and she nodded. Really? She nodded again. For some reason, I had a hard time believing her. If she wasn't in heat and so blasted horny, then I might have believed her. What would you say if I said, bend over right now and let me stuff her? I'm done! Stuff your cunt with my throbbing cock and spray my seat all inside of you. I asked inside. I was screaming at myself for speaking so dirty with a pony, but I needed to know. Her face frowned and she pushed me back. That's revolting. What makes you think I would do such a thing with you? She asked, forgetting her lust. I let out a smile and gave her a pat on the head. Glad to have you back, I said, then left the room, leaving her to her own device. I contemplated leaving right now, but figured that would be somewhat rude. I yawned and proceeded to the living room. I flopped down on the couch, but found it difficult to sleep. I got up and pulled up a chair to the window. I sat and watched the streets of Canterlot. The moon pardon me. The moon shone upon the streets that were already illuminated by street lamps. I remember the faces of my squad. Jackson, Jonas, Elijah. how we were all the best of friends, and how they had died undeservingly by the will of some god-forsaken creature in this land. Tears flowed from my eyes, but I made sure not to actually sniffle or sob. I closed my eyes and tried to wish it all back to the way things used to be. I opened my eyes and let out a choked-up sigh. My breathing was erratic from my saddening emotions. I hadn't thought about this for a long time. Why was it me? Why me? Why did I survive of all people? Why couldn't it have been Jackson? And just why? The door to the room creaked open, but I didn't turn to look. I knew it was Floor. I heard her soft, quiet, graceful hoof steps trot over to me. "Are you all right?" she whispered, and I nodded. I felt her warm hoof gentle stroke my back and slid down all the scars. I let out a deep breath, which was somewhat interrupted by a slight sniffle. You've been through so much, and yet, oh god damn it. You've been through so much, and yet you're treated so poorly, she whispered, knowing that what the scars were probably from. I kept my eyes closed, tears trickling down my face. It hurts, them being gone. We were all so close. I don't even have a picture of us, I told her. We had a picture in the Humvee of us all in our combat gear with big smiles. Our Humvee in the background. On the side of the Humvee, written in green spray paint, was the name Betsy. Our co had given us shit for that, and it took us a full week to get the spray paint off. But it was worth it for laughs it brought. I'm so sorry, she whispered as she slowly wrapped her forelegs underneath my arms and around my chest. She set her chin down on my right shoulder and nuzzled her cheek up to mine in a show of affection. I brought my left hand up and placed it over her hooves. She let out a sigh of content. I love you, she whispered. That's just a heat talking, I replied without even opening an eye. She shook her head on my shoulder and kissed my neck. No, it's not. In the short time we've known each other, you've shown me more love and affection than Fancy Pants ever did, she told me, and I chuckled. I haven't even showed you affection. But you have. Fancy Pants never shows me affection. He always just parades around like a jackass and shows off to the public like some big shot. He only needs me to be there and as a sign of his greatness. He never spends time with me. Our love is shallow, she informed me sadly. I felt sympathy for her and raised my right hand to rub the side of her face, ever so gently. I was about to ask why she would stay with him, but soon disregarded the question at mind. My heart rate increases. We just stayed like that for what seemed like eternity. She leaned her body up closer to mine. I could feel her heart beat against my back. It was a beautiful rhythm. She leaned her face away from my shoulder, and I looked into her beautiful pink eyes. Do you love me? She asked, and I gulped. I don't know. It's all very sudden, I told her, and her expression drooped into that of a downfall, which made my heart sink. She looked down to the floor with a very saddened look about her. Oh, I see, she whispered sadly. My heart ached for her. Why the hell did I feel this way for her all of a sudden? Was it because she too felt an inner turmoil like I did? I reached forward with my right hand and lifted her chin up so that we were looking eye to eye. Floor, I love you, I told her. Not really sure if I really loved her or if it was just all the emotional tension getting to me. She gasped in a sudden confession, and the look on her face suddenly changed to one of absolute passion, rather than sadness or lust, which I had become accustomed to seeing her. We both slowly leaned forwards and connected our lips with a passionate kiss. It was sloppy and wet, but right now I didn't really care. Inside my head was conscious was yelling at me. My conscience was yelling at me. Dale, don't do it. Save your dignity. While my more primal side cheered, Yes! Do it, Dale! Give in to your needs! I wish I could tell those two to shut the hell up. This was my decision to make, not theirs. I reached my right hand around her head and held her closely, so she slipped her tongue into my mouth. Our tongues wrestled each other for loving domination, and I slowly stood up, holding her around the waist to keep her balance. I moved our bodies over towards her room, then to the bed, but missed it terribly. Her back eventually pressed up against the wall of the room. I let our bodies slowly slide down. Oh God, my head.